Hi mathematicians, today we're going to learn about rounding. So here we have a number with each digit labeled by its position, by its numeric value. The key thing we have to consider is a decimal point. The decimal point is the dot, the period, that separates the whole part from the fractional part. And if we have the decimal point, the number that comes after it on the right is the tenths place. After that, we have the hundredths place. The third number after the decimal is the thousandths place. And you can remember these because 10 has 1 0 in it, so it's the first number after the decimal. 100 has 2 zeros, so it's 2 numbers after the decimal. Thousandth has 3 zeros, so it's the third number after the decimal. And so on. So let's do some examples of rounding. Round 1,354.2343 to the nearest tenth. So if I see tenth, that means I have to go one number, because we have 1 0 in 10, after the decimal. Here's my decimal. The next number, I'm going to cut it off at 2. So I'm going to go ahead and write the beginning part. But before I write the next number, the last number, I have to look at the number that comes after. Now this number is less than 5. If it's less than 5, we just write the 2 down. Okay, let's do another example. Round 45.78501 to the nearest hundredth. So hundredth, 2 decimals, 1, 2. So here's my point, here's my decimal, 1, 2, cut it off. Now 5, the number after I cut it off, is a big number. It's greater than or equal to 5. If that's the case, then I'm going to add 1 to the previous number. So the beginning stays the same, 0.7. The last number, I add 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. So this is now to the nearest hundredth. Example C. Round 179.4799 to the nearest thousandth. Thousandths, 3 decimals. So here's my point, my decimal point. I count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut it off. I look at the next number. 9 is greater than or equal to 5. It's big. So I'm going to add 1. But what happens when I add 1 to 9? It becomes 10. So I'm not going to write 0.4710. I have to carry that. So I'm doing 79 plus 1, and that will become 80. So it's 179.4, and 79 plus 1 is 80. And if they say thousandths, you have to write this 0. Okay, and lastly, round to the nearest integer. When it says this, it means no decimal. So we're going to cut it off at the decimal. Now I look at the next number after I cut it off, 4. That's less than 5. It's a small number. So I'm going to cross everything out and just leave the beginning part. And now we've rounded to different decimal places. So make sure you read what it's asking for. Is it asking for tenths, hundredths, thousandths, or integers? And count how many decimals you need. Good luck on your work time.